Hello, today's Pokemon review is on Pidgeot. This is the battle feature figure made by JAZWARES / Wicked Cool Toys, and this is what it does. So this line of battle feature figures retail for $9.99 and their max height that you can get is about 4.5 inches. Now on the back we see the other figures released alongside the Pidgeot, including the Toxtricity, which I have already got, and the Grimmsnarl, which hopefully will come out quite soon. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those Pokemon toy reviews, make sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you know exactly when I upload. Let's have a more detailed look at Pidgeot with a 360-degree spin. So the Pidgeot does come with a clear base, much like the Aerodactyl figure. You can see this is quite a simple design, but the difference with this one is it's got two prongs sticking out at the top of the base, and these two will stick into the two holes you get on the underneath of the Pidgeot figure. Now I'm quite happy that they made a Pidgeot because it is a Gen 1 Pokemon. I'm a big fan of Generation 1. So I'm hoping they also add a Pidgey and a Pidgeotto so we can get the complete evolution line. This is something that I've seen JAZWARES like to do. They like to complete the evolution lines of the Pokemon that they release. So I just wanted to show here that the Pidgeot does not need the base in order to stand. You can actually stand the figure without the base. However, for me, it just doesn't look quite right with the way its feet are sculpted. So I much prefer to display it with its base. Paintwork wise, this isn't the cleanest paint job on a figure, but you can see the pink beak is pretty decently painted in. The black areas around the eyes are also quite nicely painted, but there is some spillage of paint on the hairpiece between the red and the yellow parts. The tail feathers are nicely painted in as well. So underneath the tail we get that information from the UK company that distributes these toys. You won't get this information if you're in the US. So you can see the plastic used is a yellow plastic, so the only other painted parts are the back and the back of the wings. So you can see those are nicely painted in brown. We also get the pink feet painted in, and underneath you can actually see a S5 logo here, which means this is one of their newer Series 5 figures that came out alongside the Toxtricity and the Grimmsnarl. Moving on to the sculpt, I think this is a very good depiction of Pidgeot. I really like the face sculpt that they've used. The one thing I didn't like about this figure is it does feel quite cheap, and that's because there's not much weight to this figure. It's actually hollow. But the hairpiece here is actually made of a softer malleable plastic, as is the tail feathers, but the rest of the figure is made of a harder plastic. 6 points of articulation on this figure. There isn't any articulation in the head, but you can see at the halfway point of this wing you can push it down and it goes down to a 90-degree angle, and when you let go it will snap back into place. But you can't actually bend it the other way, it only moves one way. You get similar movement at the end of the wing, so it does go down to a 90-degree angle, but when you let go, it snaps back into its original position. So you get the exact same articulation in the other wing, so that's 4 points of articulation. The other 2 points are in the legs, and this is where JAZWARES have made a good improvement on previous battle feature figures. So previous ones would have simple swivel joints, but you can see here they've actually added a ball joint alongside a swivel joint, so this gives you a lot more range in movement in that joint. So I'm happy to see that they're constantly improving on the joints of this line. So that means that future battle feature figures will hopefully have better articulation as well. So for example, if you wanted to, you could have the Pidgeot's feet all the way forward, so it looks like it's coming to attack something and dig its claws into it. Or you can also have the claws all the way back, so that it looks like it's just flying, soaring through the air. The battle feature itself is activated by this button on its back. So once you click on that button, the wings move down, and once you let go, they move back into place, and repeating that, you get this flapping action. So that's a very simple battle feature, but I think it works really well on a flying type or a bird type Pokemon that Pidgeot is. Now this is the exact same battle feature that we got on the Aerodactyl figure, and I will compare those two a bit later on. But like I've said in previous battle feature figure review videos, I'm not a biggest fan of the battle feature itself, but as a battle feature goes, this is one of the better ones. However, instead of a battle feature, if they just had simple articulation in the wings, for example, we would have had a lot more choice in displaying the figure, so it wouldn't have to have its wings open all the time. If it was just normally articulated, we could have closed the wings if we wanted to. So I always like to test out the battle feature against the Ash figure, and in this case you can see that the battle feature is quite effective because it can knock the Ash down very easily. So I always like to think, what move would this battle feature be if it was from the Pokemon games? So in this case I think it'll be something like a wing attack, because he has to actually use his wing to knock the Ash down. Let's see that again in slow motion. So yeah, I thought maybe he could also do like a gust type move where he just flaps his wings and then the breeze can knock the Ash down. But unfortunately that does not work. You have to hit him with the wings in order to knock him down. So here's a comparison between the Aerodactyl and the Pidgeot figures by JAZWARES. And you can see these two share the same battle feature, and the way their wings are made is using the exact same mechanism. So I think the Aerodactyl is slightly bigger than the Pidgeot figure, but you can see the Aerodactyl came out first, and they've improved with the Pidgeot figure because now they've got a ball joint and a swivel joint in its legs, whereas the Aerodactyl just had a simple swivel joint in its legs. This is a good thing for future releases of battle feature figures because it looks like they're always trying to improve as they make more figures. So I just wanted to quickly show that both of these can stand without their bases, and I always like to display the Aerodactyl without its base because I think it looks good without it. Whereas with the Pidgeot, I think I'm going to display it with its base because without it, its claws look really weird on the ground. On its base, height wise, Pidgeot is 4 inches or 10 centimeters tall. And then its wingspan from one end to the other is about 6 inches, which is 15 centimeters. And then if we look at it from the side, from the end of the beak to the end of the tail feathers is about 3.5 inches, which is 9 centimeters. So guys, that was my review of the Pidgeot battle feature figure by JAZWARES. Overall, I think it's an excellent battle feature figure. So in the battle feature figure line, it's one of the better ones. And I actually like the fact that they've done a Pidgeot because it's one of my favourite Pokemon. So I'm really hoping that we get a Pidgey and a Pidgeotto as well. So if you are a Pidgeot fan, I highly recommend you pick this figure up because it is a decent size as well. I think the only other figure that can compete with this Pidgeot is the Pokemon Scale World figure, and I will be comparing the two once I unbox that Scale World figure. Next up, I will be reviewing the Toxtricity figure that came out alongside the Pidgeot. So if you don't want to miss out on that review, make sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you know exactly when I upload. If you liked that video, hit the thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more Pokemon toy reviews, hit that subscribe button now. Now go back and watch all my other videos, and I will see you all next time. Bye.